Hello everybody, Mechanic Studio here for a little update. As you can see, it's a little bigger than last time. Lots of progress has been made. A couple of months have passed. And so, progress video. Now, of course, not just progress in this game, but also progress, well, in this game, I mean, in Scrap Mechanic, but also progress in general. Now, if you remember last time, I talked about the animatronics. The animatronic that was going to be here, also known as Bungle Jungle, has been or is either going to be removed or his mechanics are going to be changed from instead of instantly killing you when you don't find the balls in the monitors to for certain he's just become god damn it, he's just going to become more aggressive animat than the normal animatronic. So he's going to run at the doors through the vents instead of instantly killing you, which I think is a plus and is a much fairer way of gameplay, if that's a word, instead of instantly killing you, which does render the camera slightly useless. But I mean, it's still useful to know that the animatronics are coming to the door. Now, as you can see, there's a lot more logic as well. That's because I've changed many things. Actually, I've reworked pretty much everything. Now, not everything is done. This door and this door are still not reworked. But the entirety of the power system has been reworked. Last time I don't think there were all three of these, or there was, and when you close the door, you had a timer for all the doors. And I found this kind of unfair, as if, and the goal of this game is to be controlled by multiple players, and in this case, this is just for the script mechanic version of the game. I found this kind of unfair that if an animatronic was sent here, and then here, and then here, you would never have enough power, because by the third time you close the door, well, the power would just time you out, and then the door would go up and you would die. So instead, I made each door have its own power, like this. This is the power level for that door. And it is, I think, much better and much cleaner way of showing the power than this is. It's much more just right there, right in your face, and tells you everything about the door. There isn't much to say about the door, but I mean, it's better. I also made the fact that the levers stay down, and then that's that. I also reworked with light. Instead of having lights here and there, I put them straight in front, and I put two of them timed differently on the stutters that is out there for both of those, which I could have hooked them up together instead of making them together. And anyways, continuing on, vents are more there, and I switched from using concrete to using a material that looks more like a vent. Of course, you can see that this isn't finished, but this is the entire length of the pizzeria or the restaurant. And I started on the basement, which where the generator is going to be. Now, of course, not many things are finished. This is going to be like the ticket booth where they greet you, and then they tell you to follow them, or that they say to be patient or whatever, because it's a restaurant, of course. Here's going to be probably a staff room. This is the main stage. And now the bathroom, which I still haven't finished either. Now, on to the more interesting stuff, which is going to be the upstairs of this. This switch turns on the game. By that I mean it opens the vents. And it closes this, which I forgot that I need to close the door first. Because why not? But this isn't very useful right now, so I'll just leave it off, because it's easier to build with that door not closed. Now, I had to change that piston location, which nobody really cares about, because that's where the light goes down. And if you can see up here, something has changed. The fox are not on in front of the doors anymore. They start from here, and they're controlled from control panels back here. Which this one is very very complicated because this is Cookie's one, and she can go in the vents, which is why it's very much complicated. This setup is probably going to be changed to something that is much more comprehensive. This one might not be changed because it is Fox and his is mostly straightforward. But there is still lots to do. Now, currently there are only these two working, and if I didn't run out of time, I would have put the one for him on the stage. But if I do this, it tells you he's there, and it starts this timer, which I'll drop down here to show you what happens. But he drops down here as predicted, and then he'll start his stages, which of course I put on the wrong side of the map. Chose the wrong side to showcase this because that one doesn't have the sensors that this hallway does have, which doesn't really matter all that much. But yeah, now this should work. If it doesn't, it'd be embarrassing since it worked every time I tried it before. But yeah, he slowly moves forward, so this is like the attack phase, and this kind of prevents the hallway from being too crowded. But yeah, goes all the way there, and then he'll make his way to the door in about a couple of seconds right there. Now you have to close the door. Now there are two sensors, this one for normal electronics and this one for Fox, since Fox in the game itself can lift up the door. Now he's still out there and I can still see him, though those lights don't do anything. But you can see him pretty easily through the door. Now all the doors are hooked up to their individual timeout timer. They're just not hooked up to the lights. Now I went down without putting that down. Thankfully I upped the speed of that. But yeah, we'll go up again because I still have stuff to show up there. That includes this battery system, which for some reason powers itself off every time I leave the world. But yeah, so basically this is 30-second timers, 20 of them. This makes it for 10 minutes, so you have for a 20-minute playtime per game. It's gonna be 10 minutes of power, which should be plenty since you're not using them all the time, only about a third of the time maybe. And then here's a 5-second timer. Basically, if you are out of power in all of these, if all of these are out of power for more than 5 seconds, it cuts your power. And then if you have some power again, it turns it back on instantly. That's how this works. So you'll have a total timer plus some timeout timers on all the doors. Doors, I copied them from the general thing I did up here, which I had modified since last time. Most of this isn't what it was last time. But yeah. So I modified that, I copied it, and put it upstairs. Which, if I can make the jump, yes I can, you'll be able to see all of these. Now, these work the same as the one below, just they go up, and then they time the door out, make it go up. Now, I kind of speedrun this, because, well, I don't have much time going away for college and such. But yeah, I also changed the monitor, because I thought it was maybe a bit too big for its actual use, since this big by that, when I only use 1 to 3 and then 1 to above to the below, I just made it out of the way of the vent towards an area that you don't really need unless you're pulling the vent, which you can still do fairly easily from here. But basically these, if something is on the sensor here, it'll tell you if by pushing that, and now it tells me because that thing is up because I forgot to put it down, and it should not be up though. If I do this, it still tells you it's up, and I'm assuming it's because it's because I didn't hook up the back sensor, which is this one, which I need to hook up to this. So now, yep, it only shows that one. That's fixed. Does it do its job if I do this? It doesn't. And that's technically the what it is supposed to do. Since now it does. Okay, so it is actually what it is supposed to do. Since this switch turns off that, it turns it off so that you don't turn or kill you. It doesn't kill you when you're using the elevator. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I put some more details into here. I actually did the male side of the bathroom almost completely. I only need the light and the paint. They all have a toilet. They are all openable and painted. So that side all works. This side still needs work. Bit more detail everywhere. Yep. Hope you keep following, even though literally zero people watched the last video. So if you want to see what changed between the two, feel free to go do that. And that's also one of the things that operates by that. That should be turned on. But of course, I'm a dummy and I disconnected that without checking if this would turn on. Yippee. I'm so great at this. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to me ramble about my late game. And I will catch you guys. I'll give you another update in another 6 months, maybe, if I have time to work on this. Or if I decide to work on it. It's mostly laziness and not wanting to. It's like, I get into the groove of working for like, maybe 10 hours, and then it's like, oh, but I have games that are more fun to play. Uh, so yeah, this is gonna be the kitchen. Of course, I showed the map in the last update, so you can go take a look at that if you want. But yeah, that is all. See you.